So it's obvious that it's the pickups that make the difference.
The pickups.
Yeah.
No, I think the amp
That's laughable.
is
That's like, no. Why do they make all these great pickups? We've been trying to. It's got to be the pickups that make the difference in the tone.
because the pickups are in the guitar, and the guitar will have more effect on it than the pickups.
Says who?
But ask anybody.
Ask
It's,
like
it's,
who?
It's the amplifier is where you get your best tone, and that's what causes the tone. It's like having a megaphone in front of you when you're yelling at somebody.
Yeah, like a megaphone, like I should be yelling at you, because
No,
that is so.
It's
This is the Doug and Pat Show. So what we're talking about today is where does the tone come from, which we had a little misunderstanding there, but we've gotten over that right now.
My neck hurts.
Does it? Yeah, I feel bad
I
now.
have a sore throat.
I know you just got that restraining order on me, and that was out of line, but I have to respect that, so I will. I won't try to choke you anymore or anything. So we were talking, and we said, so let's get away from the R9s and the R8s and the real expensive things. Can we achieve tone, like what we're talking about, classic PAF tone, in a less expensive guitar, using less expensive pickups, and a less expensive amp? Is it possible? And so the way what we're going to do that is Pat has a Bonamassa model Les Paul, so it's an inexpensive
It's the
rig,
studio.
right?
It's a
Okay.
studio.
How old is that guitar?
I don't know.
It's not new though.
No.
So you could probably pick one up for used for
500.
under 1,000.
Oh
maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what we did. We started out with the stock Bonamassa Les Paul. Then we want to go with an amplifier that's not really, really expensive or very rare like our Vox. So I went over to Portland Music to see those guys over there because they deal with lots of stuff that guitar players, average guitar players play, and find out what the most popular selling amplifier under $1,000 is over at Portland Music. Matter of fact, I just got back. Here's the video of me going over there. There's Noah, the music store guy here at Portland Music. Noah,
Yeah.
need to see an amplifier that's the most popular amplifier you have in here for electric guitar players under $1,000.
It's probably the Blues Junior here. So a ton of these 15 watts, 112, spring reverb, sound great and keep up with drums. And they're lightweight.
And a good seller.
Yeah, take them with you.
Okay, I think I will take it with me.
What? Hey, 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 bring that back. Hey. Hey now, hey. Hey, hey now, come on, hey, hey.
So, what did that cost you?
I got the amp. We're just,
You just
I
Just
thought, I thought you said, go get the amp. So we're still working it out. Still working that out.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good thing this is a sanctuary city.
Good thing. Good thing. So I will take it back though. I will take it back.
The amp or what you did to my neck.
The amp. You gotta be reasonable about this. Okay.
Hey, he was a big guy. You're just lucky he didn't get a
I
hold
know.
of you.
I know. He chased me halfway down the street. I had my car idling over there. Yeah. My Tesla with the Hemi in it.
Oh,
So what we're going to do is we're going to make a decision here, answer a question. What is the thing in order that is the biggest difference creator in getting great tone? Here's the option for you. 1, the guitar. 2, the amp. 3, the pickups. 4, the wiring harness, and 5, the player. The way we're going to accomplish this is Pat and I are going to take the same instrument, start stock with the Bonamassa, stock pickups, and we're going to play through the little Fender that I procured from Portland Music, and we're going to start there. So that Bonamassa and that Fender amplifier, probably, even if you bought them used, are well under $1,000. So that's probably more of an average guy, affordable thing. And then we're going to start improving it, and we're going to swap out the pickups, then we're going to swap out the wiring harness, and then we're going to trade off on the amplifier. We're going to go to the Vox and see at what point is it possible to achieve the tone that we've been talking about on our show by using something that doesn't cost so much, you know, like an R9 or R8 or 7, because, you know, those guitars are expensive. Yeah.
They are.
And if you spend another $500 on pickups, that's a real expensive thing. So that's kind of the concept.
Well,
Let's get on with it.
let's do it.
Stock guitar.
Kind of lose it down here. Bottom end seems to kind of drop out on it.
Whereabouts?
Yeah, the
On the
whole
A?
bottom. Yeah,
Oh,
on
the
the
B.
A. The whole, yeah, the E and the A string just need to be kind of dead.
Let's switch. Start on the bridge. Yeah, you can kind of feel when you go down there that it's. I think it's the guitar maybe.
I do too.
Because it's lively through here, but on that A it seems like it kind of doesn't. Yikes! Do the neck pickup. From where I sit, it sounds very, very mushy and muddy.
Yeah.
Breaking up really a lot in the low end that's not very, very pleasing. That's even with the guitar on the neck pickup down maybe about 6 or 7. And what we're looking for there, we're looking for clarity, of course. And it sounds kind of mushy, but we'll see what it sounds like on the recording.
Yeah.
Let's swap the pickups out.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we have the new pickups in here. This is the Seymour Duncan Antiquity. And then this one is a pickup that is in our Roadshow, done by Tyson Tone. And we went to Bob Tyson's house and he wound this pickup for us. We find this pickup to be really clear, great sounding neck pickup. And so both of those pickups are really affordable, we think. So now we've just changed the pickups. Players are going to be the same. Everything's going to be the same. Sound different? It sounds
A lot
different.
different.
Sounds. Crank it.
Seems to still dead. It's just the guitar. Notes come out real ringy and just sore.
Yeah,
You know, the
we can hear it acoustically. Which brings us to one of the points we were making earlier at the intro, is about one of the things you have to do is you have to have the guitar set up and make sure that the intonation's correct and all that stuff. It sounds pretty good.
So what are you gonna do about that?
Don't know yet. I got to make something up, and then we argue about it. But it's on. Intonation's on. Oh well.
Yeah.
Sounds a little odd. That's still an unpleasing sound from
Yes.
where we're sitting. It's just very mushy and it's not defined at all. And the strings are not dead.
No, they better not be.
No, intonation's good. The setup on the guitar is good. It's something else is going on there. We're going to find out what it is. Let's go to the neck pickup, the Tyson Tone. So when we turn the volume up and down, we're not really getting as much of the presence roll off. So when the guitar's on 10, it's brighter than when it's on 8, generally from these pots. These pots kind of don't do that very much. A little. Fox.
Much better.
Yeah, it's very much brighter.
Yeah.
It's the level the level going into the recording thing is actually a little lower. The amplifier's compressing up a little bit, so it's actually it seems very loud. It's the amplifier's in another room, it's in an isolation room, but we can hear it because we have access to it. I think that's how that works.
Big difference.
Woo! Even makes that note sound a little better. Same guitar, same pickups. Let's try the Tyson tones, see what they sound like. Diminished chord will get him back up. Yeah, okay. Let's put in a new wiring harness. New wiring harness. We only had, because the pots are really long because they're mounted on that metal plate. So when we went to another one of our regular harnesses that we had, the pot throw wasn't long enough to get through the top of the guitar. Fortunately, we had a wiring harness, really good one, sent to us by Killing Floor, that we haven't heard anything from. Anyway, and the long throw pots. But we only had a couple of them, so we're only going to play on the treble pickup. As you can see, a heavy modification here. There you go. Let's do it. Ow!
I'm all healed up.
like it might be a little brighter.
It may be.
Might be a little bit brighter. We were running the value of the pots from the Gibson on the screen there. This one has a has a bumblebee. What?
I didn't say a word.
Ugh. I don't know if you. We'll have to listen to the recording back, but man, that sounds not good. Kind of annoying. Here's the tone control.
The woman sound.
Woman tone. Yeah, we'll have to play the recording back and see if it sounds different. But it's in the room here with us. It sounds even a little brighter, which I don't know is a good thing on that Fender amp.
Yeah.
Let's hear it through the Vox.
Let's do it.
Now we're going to put the finished product, pretty much finished product, the new pickups, the new wiring harness back into the Vox, and see if we can hear any difference between the stock guitar into the Vox or not.
We'll see.
It's a mystery, isn't it?
It is.
It's a meister.
It is.
Yeah. Kind of like that spot, didn't it?
It does.
Yeah, a little bit.
Seems to have cleared up a bit up above 2 on the A.
Does it? It's got a real resonance on that particular note right there. It didn't seem like it had that earlier.
Much better.
Didn't seem like it was doing that either. Ring it out.
That was on that Barney Fife theme song.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a Hendrix thing where you use one finger, and as you bend this note up, you hang on to that one, and then you just pick. And then you go like this. Yeah, it's an arguable sound, I think. Let's try something a little bit different now. Because the Vox is rare, what we've heard. Not too rare around here, but
That's what they
pretty
say.
rare. So maybe we should try an amplifier that's not a new amplifier, but something that's not real expensive that might sound kind of good if you're really interested in getting a really good classic PAF tone without spending a whole bunch of money, which is the point of doing the demo.
Right.
Let's see what we got.
You got one?
Right.
What do you got in mind?
Let's do a GA20, maybe a GA Ranger. I think it's a 60, 59, 60. Single 12,
Oh, yeah.
6V6s. I think you can buy those amplifiers for under $1,000. Right around there. Let's try one of those. This is a 1960 Ranger, so it's a GA20. They changed the name to Ranger because it sounded more modern, I think. Still was known as the GA20.
Well, no,
But
they
had a
they
Ranger
were
right
into
there.
the Lone
The
Ranger.
Lone Ranger.
That's right.
Yeah, it came with a mask that you could put on at your discretion.
You know what Tonto means?
Dumb in Spanish. Does. I'll edit that out. 1960 Ranger. Boy, it's got some high-end, fun activity going on. The low end might not be quite as strong, you know, in the comparison of the two. Like right there.
Yep.
Not like the Vox, but boy, it has a pretty good sound to it. I don't know. Might be a viable alternative to buying a new amplifier if you want to get that sound. So we're going to talk now about what we think are the things that we hear that make the most amount of difference. Hey, I'll go first.
Take it.
To me, it's obvious, and pretty much obvious to most people, that the most important thing is the player. A really good player can get more great sounds out of any guitar. And on that same note, as a player gets better and better and better, they make more demands on the instrument that get them to another level. It may not be as incrementally as large of a gain, like changing out pickups or something, but it's still important, which is why we talk about the rest of the things, which are pickups, etc. So I think the number one is the player. I think the number two is the amplifier. And I think that we've been doing with the AC10.
Isn't that what I told you a little bit ago?
You suggested it, I thought. And then I thought you changed your mind on your way to the floor.
No.
Okay.
No.
I stand corrected.
I'm steadfast. In
Yeah.
my,
And I admire that about you. I just think it's great. And I think a lot of people in the comment section would write that same thing, except that they're afraid that you lash out at them.
My neck still hurts. You know, I used to be able to sing really high.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I can do that anymore.
Third, I think it's the pickups. I think the pickups definitely make a difference. Not maybe, definitely make a difference. The next one is kind of controversial. The guitar or the wiring harness. So we were talking about, so if you swap pickups out with a guitar, let's say it's a Les Paul, it's a solid body guitar.
Right.
And then you put them in an SG, which is still a solid body guitar, but it's not the same density, it's not the same build. but probably you could get maybe similar results. We haven't experimented with that. But if you swap them out in a guitar that's radically different, like a 335 or a 330, which we also haven't done,
Yeah.
I think it'd be radically different. So the guitar and the harness, because the harness definitely makes a difference also, the value of the pots.
Which is surprising to me. That's something we never thought of.
No,
I never thought
I know,
about before.
I know.
You know.
I know it took our viewers and people who send us things to hip us to what's going on, but
You
I'm
mean
definitely a believer.
people that are smarter than us.
No. No. Stop. Stop. Yeah. Sort of like people that say, you know that Heritage that you guys did 4 shows with that have 250K pots in them? They sound a lot better with 500. Jeez. Thank you for that. So I'm kind of tied between the guitar and the harness, but what do you think? What's your priority?
Well, of course, the priority would be the player. I think, and that just boils down to the player. You know, you get a really good player, and I've seen really good players pick up a Dan Electro and sound fantastic. You know immediately who it is because of the tone that he gets out of it.
True dat.
Or he's got a Semper's Les Paul or whatever. And then the second is got to be the amplifier, in my opinion. The third, for me, probably the guitar.
Yeah.
Even more so than the pickups. Then the pickups and then the harness.
Yeah.
And I've had people say, oh, but you're missing, is it got a brass nut? Has it got a bone nut? And does it have a Tune-O-Matic bridge, an AVR1
True.
or a whatever type of bridge?
True.
And what's the bridge made out of? So there's all these little things in there, but I think the player, the amp, the guitar, the pickups.
Yeah, we don't have hardware in there, and
No.
all the guitars that we've tried out and have been trying out over the years and on the show have different hardware on them, and we can get some really good sounds on them. So we're not going to wade into the hardware thing. We probably think that everything probably makes a difference. The way the guitar's set up
Oh, yeah.
makes a difference, but that's the guitar, right? Maybe we include it on the guitar, that aspect of it. So what do you guys think, keeping on topic in the comments, that makes the most amount of difference for achieving this sort of tone or any kind of tone, but the tone we're going for is classic PAF, Les Paul sort of sounds that we've been
Right.
talking about for 6 years. Hey, we got an email from Charlie Gilbert. Charlie Gilbert has a store called OK Guitars in Connecticut. He is on his website, es335.net. And here's the funny thing. Charlie said, guys, you have to be really accurate about the things you say because people actually think that you know what you're talking about. That shocks me. Not that he would say that. It shocks me that people think we know what we're talking about.
Oh,
It's because sometimes we just make stuff up. But Charlie said that since he is a dealer of 335s and he has bought and sold almost 600 of them in the last 8 years, I'm going to say that when it comes to those type of guitars, Charlie is the king. So don't get in touch with Charlie at OK Guitars and said that Doug and Pat said that Charlie's wrong about something.
no, leave me out of this. That's between Doug and Charlie.
It's probably between Charlie and myself. But
That's
I
right.
try to drag you into it because it's
I didn't
balanced
say,
here.
Charlie, I knew that you were right the whole time. Not that Doug was wrong, but you were more right. How am I doing?
So that's going to be our show for today. I want you guys to remember our website, the DougAndPatShow.com, where you can find attire such as T-shirts.
Attire.
Yeah. And batteries. No, you can't find a tire. You can't find tires and batteries. You can find snappy apparel.
Oh.
T-shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve, large logos, small logos. The hats. We also have a tie-in with throwback on the strings. Now the throwback strings we use are the ones with the hex core, nickel wrap, but they make a whole bunch of ones with the round core and all that, more of traditional. I think maybe you guys have experimented with this, but when we were experimenting with theirs, they're kind of a little more easier to bend on the round core, but they don't last as long, so hence we're going a little bit more towards the hex core, but I mean all of them were really, really great. Yep. So thanks for that. I think that's about all we got today. Not really. We might have a little something else. What's this? This looks pretty good.
Well, let me tell you what it did. We were talking one day about Fender amps and deluxes, and we got a couple old, like 50
One.
deluxes, and I wanted a narrow panel one because of the channels and all that they have 2 channels.
But did you want to pay $5,000 for it?
I did not, and I looked and I thought, I'd like to have one. So I got out a vintage guitar price guide where in the back they have different stores listed and the owners of the stores. And I started calling them and went down the list and finally came across one of the dealers who said that, yeah, I've got one, a complete amp, and it's going to cost you $4,500. But I also have a chassis that I would sell you. So we arrived at a price
That's
on
the
the chassis.
electronics without the wood.
That's right. That's right. No wood to it. And so if there is something you're looking for in an amp or guitar, call some of these guys and talk to the owners. Don't talk to the guys behind the counter, because the owner generally, this particular guy had been in business for about 30 years, knows everybody in town that has everything, knows where to get stuff. So anyway, I bought the chassis, and I needed a cabinet. So I went through a list of guys that, as far as cabinets that make repo cabinets, and I couldn't find any that had the complete package except for Armadillo, Will Dyke at Armadillo Cabinets down in Texas. And he makes the cabinets, he makes the correct wood on them, he finishes the insides of the cabinet, he uses correct grill cloth. They come with handles and all the hardware, so really all you have to do is bolt your chassis in, throw a speaker in there, and ready to go. The speaker in it came out of a organ, and you go to Goodwill, you can buy a whole organ for like $20, and sometimes they'll have decent speakers in them.
Oh yeah,
So
Jensen's.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the whole shooting match is under $1,000,
Wow.
and it is in essence, it's the real McCoy.
Looks just like it. All you need now is just the nameplate right
Yeah,
there.
and I was debating on whether to put a nameplate on there or not, but it is a Fender amp.
Yeah.
So next time you see the amp, you'll probably have a logo on it.
Would have great value. So for $1,000 or under $1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
you can
yeah.
find
It's
a chassis.
it takes a little while, a little bit of research, but there's stuff out there. I have a friend who bought a high-powered twin chassis from a dealer a couple of years ago. Back in the day, especially this guy,
Huh?
guys would come in and say, I've got a Marshall stack. Yeah, okay, but it's too much to move around. So a lot of them would take even the Fender amplifiers, the twins, and cut them up and just take the head and make a small head out of it. And they would pair them with a 412 cabinet or another single 12 cabinet or a double 12 cabinet. So there's some of that stuff floating around that needs cabinets. And I would highly recommend Armadillo, mainly because they make all kinds of them. You can work with the guy. You can call him one-man operation from start to finish, and he's quick. So
Looks good.
yeah,
Got some relicking.
yeah, he will relic it as much as you want or as less as you want.
Slackered.
The whole
Like it's
works.
supposed to be.
Yep,
Cool.
good stuff. So Will Dyke, Armadillo Cabinets.